The Penal Code defines many terms which are later used in criminal offenses. These are a little tricky because their legal penal code meaning isn't necessarily the same as what they mean in common use. First, according to the Penal Code, a benefit is anything reasonably regarded as an economic gain or advantage for the actor or another person. For example, money and jewelry, concert tickets, or a contract to do business. The next definition is coercion. Coercion is a threat, however communicated, to commit an offense, inflict bodily injury in the future, accuse a person of any offense, expose a person to hatred, contempt, or ridicule, harm the credit or business reputation of any person, or take or withhold action as a public servant, or cause a public servant to take or withhold action. Next, a deadly weapon in terms of the Penal Code is a firearm, or anything designed, made, or adapted for the purpose of inflicting death or serious bodily injury, or anything used in a way that is capable of causing death or serious bodily injury. For example, a firearm is definitely a deadly weapon. A knife could be as well. A car could be a deadly weapon, as well as a pencil. Again, it depends upon the manner of use. Next, when the Penal Code uses the term law, it isn't just referring to the written law. It is referring to the Constitution of Texas or the United States, the written opinion of a court of record or an order from a county commissioner's court, or any rules adopted under statute. You may occasionally see the term reasonable belief used in the Penal Code. A reasonable belief is a belief that would be held by an ordinary and prudent person in the same circumstances as the actor. So a belief by a common, ordinary, and reasonably intelligent person. Next, a public place. A public place in the Penal Code is any place to which the public or a substantial group of the public has access to, including streets and highways, or common areas of schools, hospitals, apartments, offices, transportation facilities, and shops. Pay close attention to the definition of public place. It's very specific. Privately owned property may still be considered a public place under the Penal Code. Next, when the Penal Code uses the term actor, it is referring to the suspect or the defendant. According to the Penal Code, an association is a government agency of two or more persons having a common economic interest. A public servant in Penal Code terms means a person who is elected, selected, appointed, employed, or designated as an officer, employee, or agent of the government. Or it could also include a juror or grand juror, an arbiter or referee authorized by law or agreement to hear or determine a case or controversy, or an attorney at law or notary public in the course of their government function, or a candidate for nomination or election to a public office, or finally, a person performing a government function, although they are not legally qualified to do so. Next, an individual, according to the Penal Code, refers exclusively to a human being who is alive, including an unborn child. Finally, unlike the term individual, a person, in terms of the Penal Code, may refer to an individual, corporation, or association. So every individual is a person in the Penal Code, but not every person has to be an individual. A person could also refer to a corporation or association.